Welcome back to Spotlight. Jaxson Dart looked pretty good in his NFL debut, albeit a preseason game. First-round pick, led 3 scoring drives for the Giants in a win over the Bills. 12-19, 154, and a touchdown. Here's Dart ahead of making his Meadowlands debut, technically a home game against the Jets at MetLife.
I can't wait. I mean, my first time going into the stadium was the Zach Bryan concert, and I think that just like standing there and being able to look at all the great players' names, in the stadium, and then just kind of seeing the atmosphere and trying to picture, what a sold-out stadium's going to be like, and just the energy involved. I can't wait, it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope that the fans come out and they're super passionate. I hope that we can make home field advantage for us. But I can't wait, and I know that there's going to be a lot of energy for sure.
All right, Zach Bryan's one of the biggest names going right now in music. Can the Giants and Jets outsell Zach Bryan at MetLife? Damien Harris, Emory Hunt back with us here. And guys, the Battle for the Meadowlands is a great way to introduce yourself to a fan base. So many people will remember what Victor Cruz did in this game his rookie year. Damien, you're up first. What do you want to see from Dart tomorrow night?
I just want to see an improvement from game 1 to game 2 because he looked phenomenal. And I had some concerns in my mind about how he would adjust. I think that the system that he played in at Ole Miss was very advantageous for gunslingers and guys that just like to air the football around. But the NFL is a different beast. I mean, you've got guys that can really play at a high level, and he's seen that through training camp. He's seen that through joint practices, and now he's at a small serving size in a preseason game. And like I said, he played very well. Looked like he hit the big plays when they were there. He looked like he had good fundamentals in the pocket. His footwork seemed to be good. He seemed like he had his eyes in the right direction, and he took the profit. So again, you just want to continue to see improvement from these young guys and allow them to show that if the opportunity calls and their name and number is called, they'll be ready and available.
I love how he said he wanted to see if the fans come out there and be passionate. Bro, you ain't got to worry about that. Like they're going to be out there passionate in one way or the other. But what I want to see from him is how he handles the difference in styles that he's going to see from the New York Jets, because their defensive playbook has one sheet and it says blitz, and that's it. He's going to see a lot of pressure in this ball game, even though it's a preseason. But what I love about what they've done with Jaxson Dart and how he's progressed over the course of the spring and summer, because I've been to the OTAs, the mini camps, and all throughout training camp, he's been working with the twos. So he's been getting a lot of work with the second group. So that's why when he went out there against Buffalo, it looked like how it looked. The operation was smooth. He was able to get the ball out. He knew where to go with the football. He was able to take the timely, cheap yards by running, using his athleticism. So the confidence was there. And because he continues to work with the twos, because during the regular season, you're probably going to see Jameis become number 2, and you won't be able to get him those reps. We're going to see the operation look good once again. But I want to see him continue to progress like Damien talked about moving forward. But I love the plan that Brian Daboll and also Joe Schoen have for Jaxson Dart. It's been working well to perfection.
All right, guys, quarterback position here is an important choice considering those hot seats. GM Joe Schoen. Bless you, Damien. Bless you.
That's how you know I'm telling the truth.
Hopefully we're done now.
It's true.
Allergies, or are we dealing with a cold here?
No, I'm good. Right. I'm good. I just washed my hands before I got on here. We're good. We're germ-free.
You can't get me from here, man. All right, quarterback choice is important here, guys. Damien, if you need a breather, we can start with Emory here. The hot seats for GM Joe Schoen and head coach Brian Daboll, so they want to make sure they get the QB position right. Emory, Daboll has made it sound like it's Russell Wilson's job to lose. Are you believing that?
Absolutely. This is the most ideal position a head coach wants to be in. You want to be able to effectively coach to win games. You can do that with Russell Wilson while also developing your quarterback of the future behind the scenes. Now, this conversation would have been a lot different had they've been trying to prepare Jaxson Dart to go out there and start in week 1. That would have been a situation where it wouldn't have been the best situation for him, kind of like what they did with Matt Corral in Carolina. He wasn't able to get broken down to get built back up coming out of that Ole Miss system. Jaxson Dart is actually in a better situation, a better plan. So you can win football games because Russell Wilson is a floor raiser. The run game is there. It's funny because all throughout minicamp and training camp, folks have been saying, oh, wow, the receiving core actually is pretty good. Yes, that's what happens when you have a competent quarterback. They do have good receivers. They have a really good tight end in Theo Johnson. Is going to be a sleeper this year, and that defense is going to be a problem, especially within the front seven and at the safety position. So Russell Wilson buys you time to win games while working with your guy behind the scenes.
And that's the perfect way to put it. I mean, this is actually my position battle to watch for with the New York Giants. And it's not because Russell Wilson isn't going to be the week one starter. It's not because Jaxson Dart doesn't look good. It's not because you don't know that you have a leader in Jameis Winston. It's because you've got three good quarterbacks that are capable of bringing something that equates to winning to the culture. And so it's going to be interesting to see how it starts. Obviously, Russell's going to get the nod week one. We're going to see how he progresses throughout the season. If this is like when Russell was in Denver, is he going to have that same leash because he is a quarterback that's been in the league for so long? Or do you go to another veteran in Jameis Winston who can either lead the league in touchdowns or lead the league in interceptions? Or are you going to put in a young Jaxson Dart who, again, he played at a high level in college. He's playing at a high level right now, continues to improve and work the operational things like Emory is talking about, understanding the difference between the college game and the NFL game, the way the coverages are run, the way the guys are able to disguise things. If Russell Wilson can help him learn these things and develop all these things, well, Brian Daboll has a really good problem on his hands where he's got three very capable quarterbacks of leading this offense to being better than what we've seen in a really long time, quite frankly.
We know Justin Fields is the starter for the Jets week one, but New York had to bring in Nathan Peterman and C.J. Beathard this week after backup Tyrod Taylor underwent a procedure on his knee. Sounds like Taylor will miss the rest of training camp, may be ready for the regular season. But, Damien, what's your level of concern for the Jets' options after Fields?
High. And I'll say I'm still highly concerned, even with Justin Fields, because I'm going to be honest, he hasn't looked great during training camp. Everybody expected Justin Fields to take a leap, especially under the leadership of Aaron Glenn. And I think he has improved from certain aspects and some standpoints. But when we look at him throwing the football, we're not seeing that improvement that Justin Fields needs to make in order to be a starting quarterback in the National Football League. So when you already have that problem at starting quarterback, then you look behind him and you've got injuries. You're having to sign guys this late in the training camp going into the season. It clearly states that they have a level of concern as well. So whether it's Justin Fields, whether Tyrod Taylor gets healthy and comes back and he becomes the starter, whatever the case may be, there needs to be better quarterback play for the New York Jets, or else this is going to be the same old Jets that we talk about every year. They can't get it done. They can't find the answer at quarterback. They thought it was going to be Aaron Rodgers. They thought it was going to be Justin Fields, and it's just going to be the same story that keeps repeating itself like a broken record. So find an answer. I don't know what it is right now, but it's definitely a high level of concern for the New York Jets.
All right, Emory, let's stay with the Jets here. What position battle are you watching in training camp?
On the interior defensive line next to Quinnen Williams, the outstanding defensive tackle, you have Byron Cowart, who's trying to regain his status. He was one of the highly touted recruits coming out of high school, went to Florida State and everything. But then you also have Jay Tufele, who's been balling not only in the preseason game, but also in these joint practices as well. He was given the Giants' deep offensive line fits at practice. He had a sack in the game, a fumble recovered for a touchdown. He had TFL as well, a couple of quarterback hits. He's been out there just playing like he's trying to take somebody's job. So that's the battle I am looking forward to seeing continue to play out the rest of the preseason. Now, we also add wide receiver Josh Reynolds, the veteran whom they brought over from Detroit, and rookie draft pick Arian Smith out of Georgia. I may have contributed a few jokes out there during his college career, but as a pro, watching him during these two joint practices with the Giants, he has not dropped a thing. He's made contested catches. He's made catches on the move away from his body. I know Georgia fans are like, man, where was this last year against Notre Dame? So this dude has a chance to be, into the mix of this position at wide receiver as the wide receiver 2 or 3. But he's been impressive in camp. So those are two battles for the Jets that I'm keeping an eye on.
All right, our two-headed backfield here on Spotlight, Damien Harris, Emory Hunt. Guys, thank you so much. Of course, the early edge is where you get your betting edge with us every single day. Use the QR code, or you can find it wherever you listen to your podcasts.